In this video, we're going to look at suppressing and relocating incoming input data in eFORMz. So let's say you wanted to suppress a certain piece of information in your data file that you're using as input. For example, let's say I don't want the fax number to show up here on my form. Well, to get rid of it, I can left click and drag, right click, and select Suppress Input Data. And the data suppression region will show up. These are the coordinate values, and you can adjust them as seen fit. And we'll select OK. And there you go. The fax number is gone. So very easy to just suppress the information. Now to look at the detailed coordinate values, or maybe you want to change them, for example, we can go over to our project window here, select the form, right click, and select Properties and Data Suppression. And we'll see we have a data suppression region. You can select that and select Edit. And you can adjust the region as seen fit. So let's go ahead and cancel out of that, and we'll cancel out of that as well. What if I wanted to simply just move incoming data? Well, let's say I want to move the account number. So let's go ahead and just left click and drag over the account number, right click, and select Move Input Data. And here we have the data relocation region. This is the region itself, the coordinate values that we're picking up. And here we can specify where we want to move it to. We can, let's say we want to move it a little bit to the left here. So we'll move it over. And we're going to, let's say we want it to be a little bit lower there. We can also adjust the rotation of it, 90 degree, 180 or 270 degree rotation counterclockwise. But we're going to keep it as is here. And let's go ahead and select OK. And so we've moved it a little bit down from where it was, and we've also moved it over to the left. So if I wanted to adjust that, and more often than not, you probably will. It's a little bit of trial and error when you're determining coordinate values. Again, we'll just go up to the form, Properties, right click, and select Properties and Data Relocation. And we'll see the relocation region. Just select that and select Edit. And you can adjust where you've moved it, rotation, or of course just the coordinate values you're picking up in general. So we'll go ahead and X out of that. Another way of doing this without getting into the data relocation or the data suppression tabs is if you wanted to relocate, or rather if you wanted to first suppress data, you could simply, let's say I want to suppress the date, I don't want the date to show up. We can left click and drag, right click, and select Add Variable, and select OK. And it's gone. What we've done here is we have suppressed the information. Now, typically when you add variables, you'll want to place them back on your form by just right-clicking, selecting Add Rule, Place Text, or maybe you want to place it as a barcode or something else. But if I just want to suppress it, you can always just add a variable and leave it as is. The benefit to this method is that you can add functions and use it, for example, in maybe an SQL query or something like that. Another thing you can do, and in terms of, let's say you wanted to move the incoming data, is, well, okay, you've added the variable for the date, you've suppressed it, but let's say I really just wanted to move it. Well, okay, fine. Let's say I want to move it just below the account number here. Right click, select Add Rule, Place Text. We'll select the variable and select OK, and select OK again, and we've moved it, and we can just drag it and drop it wherever we'd like. So there are really a couple of different ways of doing this. If you want to suppress data, you can add a variable, or you can use the data suppression tab. If you want to move incoming input data, you can place a variable, which is typically what you'll do anyway, or if you really just wanted to move one value based on coordinate values, just because the rest of it looks fine, you can use the data relocation tab. And both of these options are available by left-clicking, dragging, right-clicking in the top pane of the viewer and selecting Move Input Data if you wanted to relocate it, and Suppress Input Data if you wanted to suppress it.